Hi, this is Pete Singer, editor of Semiconductor Digest. I'm here at SEMICON West 2023, and I'm in the Trane booth talking to Andy Alcorn. And Andy, everybody knows Trane from the air conditioners probably in their home, right?
Yes,
but
of course.
You're very involved in the semiconductor industry as well. So can you tell us a little bit about the semiconductor industry requirements in terms of HVAC and how you're involved?
Perfect, thanks Pete. We often, you see a lot of the words thrown around here at the seminars regarding sustainability, for example, regarding supply chain resiliency, energy efficiency, So a lot of what we talk about when we get into this, and the reason why we typically don't have these products, is we can impact the end user's facility in multiple aspects, right? So when somebody approaches us, for example, and they say, what can we do, to help deliver on our sustainability goals, right? And so we will often sort of walk them through sort of our scope 1 or scope 2 sort of emissions, right? And what can we do to help the initial electrification, for example, taking away any sort of burning of fossil fuels that we normally have on the heating side of things, all the way through to, for example, indirect, what can we do with energy efficiency and or water consumption, to help suit their ultimate needs that they have there in the building.
Okay. And with so much new construction going on in the U.S., when do these companies get you involved in the whole process?
That's a great question. Never early enough.
Okay.
Never early enough. I mean, everybody is probably familiar with what long lead items are and what they can do. One of the things that we've really been trying to do is to get as early on in the sort of the development procurement process, right? Because these decisions are not only going to impact the initial construction, right? The things like energy efficiency are going to be around really for the entire life of the building. We have services that are going to offer sort of how do we keep this relationship going? And when you start building, especially in some of these remote areas, right, where land, you need a large parcel of land, right? Being able to get our own workforce, right, to sort of assemble in that area to kind of keep this building going on and maintaining this, keeping your critical uptime and delivering a most efficient sort of energy efficient process that we can, through that system. Some of this we can do remotely with digital connectivity. Love to be, sort of involved in terms of, what can we see sort of remotely, proactively, and then also obviously, face to face and how can we help the operators long term.
Okay. So obviously some of these facilities have, office space, but they also have these high-tech clean rooms where the environment needs to be controlled very precisely. Can you tell us a little bit about how, in practice, how these machines and how your systems handle all of that?
Another great question, Pete. I mean, usually, one of the things that we always try to pride ourselves is trying to be somewhat invisible, right? And that means the machines are working, they're delivering the temperature, water that they need, that critical, component of this, the uptime in terms of reliability. So as these systems, or it might even be on the utility bill, right?
Sure.
How do we keep this system sort of operating as smoothly and seamlessly as possible, right? So that's really on the production side. So we'll have often a low temp loop, we'll have a medium temp loop, normal cooling instead of rejecting the heat to outside, for example, we do heat recovery, right? And we'll pull this back in to the facility to maybe do some preheating or maybe elimination of some boilers that they would traditionally use, right? Obviously, back office space, you have people there, they want to be comfortable, they want it to be run quiet, so that's kind of been our core competency in doing office sort of back office facilities as well.
Okay. Well, thank you, Andy, very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete.